Imagine coming across a marketing email that was tailored to you, but then you go ahead and you click the link in that email, the call to action with the offer that the email is talking about. And when you click the link and you arrive on the page, there's a statement on the top fold of your page that is tailored specifically to you, addressing you by your first name. As you can see on this page, there's a statement at the top that says, "Hi Omar," that's me, my first name. "We just reset your trial," and then an offer tailored to me specifically, right? There's no doubt about this. There's data to back this up that personalized campaigns help increase your conversion rate, your click-through rate, etc. And so go check that out online if you want to sort of understand the benefits of this. But in this video, I want to show you this component we created using Framer's AI tool called Workshop, which is a Framer plugin that exists inside of the Framer website editor that you can pull to then talk to AI to build out any custom component you want with AI, which, by the way, only took us, I'd say, about 15 minutes to build out this component, but also we have the link to access this component in the description below, so check that out. But in this video, I'm going to walk through how to set up that component so you can also deliver similar personalized campaigns. So let's jump straight into it. First, I want to talk through how this actually works. We use a email marketing tool, and any email marketing tool should have this as a feature, which allows you to add URL parameters to your CTAs, your links, right? So if I was to copy this link address, now looking at the link that you click through within the email, when you open up the URL, you'll see this is the main URL, but after the main part of the URL, there is a URL parameter, which is what affects what you see on the website, right? And the URL parameter here is question mark, that's the start of a URL parameter, name equals Omar. So really it is just this part here that is impacting what you see on the website, that dynamic text there that you saw. And if I was to remove this, when you remove that custom URL parameter, you don't see the personalization at all, right? So let's just test this again. Here's the URL. I'm going to paste the URL parameter, name equals, question mark, name equals Omar. In fact, I'll do a different name this time, Mike. It says, "Hi, Mike, we reset your trial," right? Let's go back to this again and type, "Hi, Jane. Hi, Jane, we reset your trial," right? So that's how this works. It uses URL parameters to then adjust the content that you see. And you can do that with any dynamic text. In this case that I created is specifically for personalized landing pages that addresses a person directly, right? And I'll talk through the component. But I thought it would be also important to show you how this works in my specific email platform setup. So if I open this email, for instance, here's my email design. If I go inside the CTA, here's a link target. This is the URL parameter that I'm using. It's question mark, name equals. And the cool thing about email tools, marketing tools, is that they usually allow you to add variables, right? Brevo does this. I'm sure ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, and the rest do the same, where at the end of your URL, you can add a custom variable to make your parameter dynamic. So if I go to contact attributes, or I just search it, in fact, I can go to name, I can add first name there. And now if you look at the URL parameter, the first name sort of like code snippet gets placed at the end to then call the first name of whoever I'm sending the email to. Of course, I'm doing it via automation to a large email list, right? And so anyone that clicks the email will see their name, a landing page personalized to them. Now let's go into the component. We've covered enough on how it works. Opening Framer. Here's my landing page. The component is here right there. You can't actually see it because I have a feature that allows the component to hide if we do not detect a name in the URL parameter, right? So let's talk through that. So here is my component. On the right-hand side, as you know, in Framer, you have all of your standard properties, and then you have your unique component properties just under transform and styles. And here's my unique component settings, right? So this is the personalized text component. Access it again in the description below. The first part is that you want to set a URL parameter, right? So I'm using name because that's the specific parameter I'm changing that is dynamic. And so it kind of gives you a clear idea. When you have question mark name equals, you know that you have to add the first name, right? So it's just a very clear way of identifying what the URL is calling, right? Or attributing. And so I call it name. It could be anything for you. It could be product. It could be depending on your use case, right? And then I have the ability to hide or show. So if no parameter is detected, I'm hiding it. But you can also decide to show it regardless of whether you detect the name in the URL or not. If you do end up doing that, you want to add a fallback text, right? I've already have a fallback text there by default called friend. So if it doesn't detect the name, instead of saying, hi Omar, it'll just say hi friend, right? So that's how that works, and that's the fallback text. The way I've set this up is that I have a prefix and a suffix between the dynamic text. So the dynamic text is where the friend will be, this text over here, so we can visualize that. So friend is what will be replaced. The prefix is hi. So let's change something else, like we can say hello, for instance, and you'll notice it says hello friend. Don't forget to add the space at the end. It's very important because you need the dynamic text to be separated by a space, and you can't expect the dynamic text to have that space within it. So you have to add the space in the suffix and the prefix, right? So I added a space at the end of the hello. So we have a space, and then we have the dynamic text. And then we have the suffix, which is exclamation mark, because again, you can't rely on the dynamic text to have the exclamation mark. No one writes their first name as Omar exclamation mark, right? So you add that in the suffix with no space, and then space, whatever your statement, this is my use case, I added, we just reset your trial, because we're telling all of our customers that we reset their trial and they can go ahead and try Blitz it again for free, and take advantage of the discount as well, right? Because we had released some new features, and so that was our campaign. That really is it. We have a bunch of other more layout related and aesthetic features, customizations like text, color, fonts, whether you want it to fill, fit, fixed, width, etc. So you can play around with that. But I want to show you something really cool, how long it took me and how many prompts it took me to achieve this result, right? I'm not an expert in an AI expert by no means, but I do know what I want. And I'll scroll up and to show you the conversation I had. It was super basic to get to this result, which goes to show how amazing this tool is if you want to create any component that you need depending on your use case, right? So I needed personalized text. This was my prompt, like a couple of lines, a personalized text component that takes a parameter from the URL and changes the text dynamically based on what's there. Really a very basic prompt, as you can see. I had a couple of iterations where I had to troubleshoot a couple of issues. Text alignment is not working. I wanted some aesthetic features like fill and fit and fixed. And then I wanted, it seemed like it was lagging a bit of time before the personalized text would work on a page. Like it would take a while for the word to load, and it optimized that as well. So after I ran that fix, when I had that version, when I trialed that version, the text would show up instantly, which was amazing. And then finally, I wanted the hide show feature to hide based on whether or not there is that parameter available. So it really just took about 3 prompts to arrive at this result, which is just mind-blowing how easy it is to create these components for any use case, right? And I would argue these type of use cases are typically not easy to custom code. At least I'm not a technical person, so maybe someone that is a developer might know better. So if you are a technical person, an engineer, drop a comment below. Let me know if this is actually an easy feature to build. But it's very useful for me as a non-technical to just be able to build out these components for my use case without having to rely on an engineer, for example, right? So huge value in what Workshop provides. And so if you want to personalize your marketing campaigns on Framer and create high converting funnels with Framer, go ahead and grab that component inside of the description. And if you're not subscribed to the channel already, make sure you do subscribe. I'm going to be dropping more videos around using Framer for powerful marketing funnels that convert customers into paid fans. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. But other than that, hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you in the next one. And of course, never stop building.